guys, I've got a random battle for you here about 6 months ago using the old tier system. Haven't battled in a while, so hope I still know most about Pokemon and what I did at the time and my thought processes. But let's just go straight in. Ambipom v Porygon 2. Nothing much there. Porygon 2 is a great physical wall, especially with the introduction of the Eviolite over a year ago now, if you can imagine it. And of course, Black and White 2 has been released, or kind of released. We don't know too much about it, but it's very interesting, and I hope that it's going to be a sequel rather than a remake. But anyway, back to the battle. None of us really gain anything. He loses 20% of his health, I lose 20% of my health. I get a small paralysis on the Blissey, which is irrelevant because he has natural cure. Just gonna go for the Crother just to scout what his Blissey could do. The worst he could do was Toxic, and I wasn't really too fussed about Blissey because I've got a Machamp in the wings. I'm just going to go for the Ice Beam, but I guess he just wanted to swap, maybe for a bit of scouting, maybe to get rid of the paralysis. I'm not sure why he wanted to get rid of paralysis, since Blissey is not going to outspeed anything, but he doesn't lose anything when doing it, so he may as well. I'm predicting Toxic here, so I'm going to go into Venusaur, which is unfortunate for me since I get paralyzed, though my Venusaur has no speed investment, so it's not that big of a deal. But then he has Fire Blast, so it's a very unusual Blissey, I would guess. Flamethrower I have kind of seen on Blissey, and Specs Fire Blast I have seen. I think it's MTG Xerxes uses them, but irrelevant. Just go for the Sleep Powder. He has natural cure, probably knowing that Venusaur can't really touch him unless their Swords Dance Power Whip sets, which I obviously not now, or I could be technically, but I had Hidden Power, which is quite unlikely. So I use this as a free opportunity to get into my Machamp. He's gonna go into his Quagsire, which isn't the best choice because Machamp is beastly and Quagsire isn't that beastly. It's got decent defenses. It has Unaware's ability or Water Absorb, whichever one you choose. They're both decent abilities, and now he's confused because Machamp has no guard and I can hit all my dynamic punches and get that confusion off. He goes for a Scald. I know he can't really touch Venusaur. Earthquake, even if he had it, it's not going to do too much. He can't Toxic me anymore, or he couldn't Toxic me anyway since I was poisoned. He can't do any sort of status to me, so oh well, unless Confusion, of course, that would get Paralysis and Confusion, but it's irrelevant. I predict his Blissey to come in again, knowing it's the perfect counter to my Venusaur, so I go into my Machamp again. I'm just going to go for the Dynamic Punch again. I don't see why I wouldn't, since now I've got a free extra Dynamic Punch, and it looks like a 2 to 3 hit KO, depending on damage variation. So I'm just going to go for another one. If it doesn't kill, I also have a 50% chance of Confusion hitting him and taking him out, and Scald only has 30% chance of burning me, so probability wise it was a good choice for me. He probably thinks I'm choice banding now, seeing all those dynamic punches doing quite a bit of damage to a defensive Quagsire, I'm guessing, but he doesn't suspect it. I guess that I'm not, and I get a crit. I don't think the crit mattered too much because I had plenty of things to take out of Salamence, but it's nice anyway to have a free kill. It's going to go to Ambipom. Of course, Porygon 2 can take it left, right, and center, fake out, U-turn, even a low kick or two. So I'm just going to keep with my Porygon 2 in here. Just go for Discharge. After Discharge, maybe throw an Ice Beam in there, and it's pretty much good game from that Ambipom. Obviously, Recover is useful to keep my health to full, and yeah, he really can't do anything. So since I've got a bit of time at the moment, we'll talk a bit about the Black and White games. So yeah, so I hope it's going to be a sequel rather than a remake, say as Pokemon Platinum or Pokemon Emerald was. Though Pokemon Emerald did have a slightly different storyline, it wasn't really good extension, and I would prefer something like a sequel that's never happened before in a Pokemon game. Well, maybe Heart Gold Soul Silver was kind of a sequel, but this would probably be a proper sequel, I guess. Maybe you get to import one of your guys in from previous games or something like that, or from Black and White, I mean. So I hope it's a sequel. Maybe they release more of N's past, his the way he thinks, etc. But anyway, he makes I don't know, maybe he makes a really good move predicting my switch, or maybe I just make a stupid, idiotic play. I go into Deoxys Speed, which has 0 defense basically, and he gets the super effective life or U-turn on me, take me down to 1 health and a crit. So I'm presuming he's going for extreme speed here. Why else would he bring a Lucario unless he's really good at bluffing? I'm gonna go into my Venusaur. Close combat is not very effective. Extreme speed isn't the best of power, and my Venusaur is quite bulky, so Crunch isn't gonna do too much. He gets the defense lower, not too fast. Gonna go for the Sleep Powder. Again, it's just rinse and repeat. It's pretty much game at this point. All he has is a Lucario and a Blissey, which my champ can easily take care of. So that's exactly what I do. I predict the Blissey switch, and yeah, just speed up the battle infinitely, since you don't want to see Blissey's health going all the way down, since that might take a year. So another dynamic punch, he was very Machamp weak. He had normal types, he had Weevil, Ice types, which take out with a bullet punch, even though it was a crit. It's irrelevant, so yeah. Hope you enjoyed the battle. He was very fighting type weak, excluding Salamence. Yeah, see you in the near future.